All right, guys, this is Chris with Drop Dice. So we are back again. It is Saturday, and of course, we're doing Community Saturday. This one we're calling Welcome to August. Now, the reason I say Welcome to August is because most of you who have been following the channel for a while know that I took a little break from the world building sessions. And I talked about why it's important to take breaks and things like that. And I've had some time to kind of think and do a couple other minor projects to kind of keep my brain active. And I'm feeling refreshed and ready to get back to world building. Now, there's going to be a little bit of changes from what I originally thought, and that's a good thing for anybody who does any sort of world building. It's basically an evolution process, and I've made some decisions to make it fit a little better with traditional D&D 5th edition style. Like I'm going to take out some of the unique races that I originally was planning for. I think I'm going to keep what I have and then evolve what's already there in 5th edition, because ultimately the key to a good setting is having something familiar but different. And so I don't want to go too far down that different track. And I think the way I was going about before that was causing me to lose a little steam was feeling like I was going too far down that different track. So we'll talk about that more in the world building series. I wanted to talk about what's going on with the channel, what I'm excited about, and things like that. So first off, I want to say thank you to everybody who has liked, comment, subscribed, shared, supported this channel in any way, because you guys are phenomenal. I'm up to 182 subscribers, and frankly, for just a guy talking about his favorite hobby and what he likes to do within that hobby, and then like talking to you guys in chats and stuff like that, like it's, for me, is really refreshing, because I love the hobby just in general, and I think that, you know, having this community around really makes me feel like a lot of the stuff I do is not that uncommon, if you will. So it's really awesome to see the support, especially when I get people that haven't been part of our community members that do happen to find the channel and then join us in the community. So I think that's really cool. If you happen to be one of those subscribers that hasn't joined us in the community, I will, once this is done, because I totally spaced on my description box, I will add a link to the Tabletop one-shot group. Go ahead and join in there. If you want to join the Copper Jackals, you definitely can. I'll put a link to them as well. Speaking of Copper Jackals, I've got an announcement for that, but we'll come back to that here in a second. The other thing that I'm going to provide a link for here is BrigadeCon. Now, I've mentioned it in past videos, and I'm going to mention it pretty much all the way until BrigadeCon happens. This is twofold. I'm about to start working, and so my schedule is going to change, and my video schedule may change because of it. Well, I should say I'm looking for work right now. So because of that, my schedule may change once I get settled into a new job, and I want to try and keep my filming schedule the same, but I'm a little concerned that I may have some issues with BrigadeCon because it's coming up in October and everything. And I want to just make sure that it gets all the attention it deserves. So I've mentioned it before. There's going to be some t-shirts that are on sale. 100% of the proceeds are going to go to help Child's Play. Child's Play is a really great program. I help out with like other stuff like Wounded Warrior Project, as you can see. But Child's Play is a little bit different. It's directed towards kids that have illnesses that keep them in the hospitals and cause a lot of major expenses. But it helps out with some of the medical expense, and it also provides like games and stuff to the kids that their parents wouldn't normally have a chance to get them games. Stuff like Xbox, tabletop games, board games, pretty much anything to, you know, bring a little cheer into those kids' lives. And so if you are watching my channel and this does interest you, there is a donation point up on the BrigadeCon.org website. Again, I'm going to put a link in the description for this video. There's already just a donation point on there. If you just want to get the t-shirt and support that way, that's also going to be available for you once the t-shirts get sorted out. And I've pretty much decided that once the t-shirts come in, at least for pretty much every L5R game, once I get my hands on that t-shirt forward, I'm going to be rocking the BrigadeCon t-shirt. Just to, you know, like I said, I think it's a worthwhile cause, and so I'm definitely going to put it out there. Now, as far as the other stuff goes for the channel, I do have a Copper Jackals announcement. I put out that ad a couple weeks ago talking about a Copper Jackals game called the 3 Moons Harvest. Unfortunately, you guys know that my internet went out, and I was not able to do that game. It happened like an hour before that game was originally scheduled. So what I'm doing today is I'm actually going to be playing the Three Moons Harvest. I'm going to be putting up an event after this event's over that'll schedule for the live broadcast. It will be broadcasted to the channel. My players know that they're expect to have cameras, microphones, and etc., or at least good microphones. And we're going to kind of walk through a Copper Jackal minting session. And these guys are, barring that time doesn't catch up with us, they should be named during that session. If it goes a little long, we might break it into 2 sessions, because I've got a good team of players that I'd really like to see kind of go through the process and get integrated into the Copper Jackals. Now, I'm figuring if I have the time to do some Copper Jackal one-shots in the future, I'm probably going to do them similar way. So if you are part of the Copper Jackals and you watch my channel, keep an eye out, because I may be doing some more minting sessions and naming sessions to kind of get everybody up to the point where the character's named, has a level under their belt, or they're kind of walking around and being called member in the community. So keep an eye out for that, the Three Moons Harvest, after which I'm going to do another video where I show you guys what I did to prep for the Three Moons Harvest. I haven't done a prep video before, and so I thought it would be a lot of fun. I really enjoy Barker's channel, the Be a Better Game Master, his prep sessions. I'll actually link one in the cards, which will be in one of those corners. One of these days I'll figure out which corner it is, but you guys know because you can see the video. But basically, I will link that prep video that Barker does inside this video, but I will have my own prep for the Three Moons Harvest and how I do it linked afterward. Now, there may be some things that the players just don't discover in the game, and if so, it's not a big deal. I plan for a little bit more than what I expect the players to do. That way, if the players do change things on me, they've got things to explore. And that's just kind of my style, and if you like it, check out that video. And if it's not your style, I recommend checking it out, simply because, you know, like I say in other videos, having a multitude of opinions and shared thoughts and things like that will really help improve your game. Now, some of you know that I'm a big fan of Gnome Stew Publishing, and I like their GM books. There is a new book that's coming out, which I believe is called In Focus or Get Focused. Let me check here. I was just looking at this and I totally spaced and forgot to have the window open for the video here. That's pretty awesome. So kind of bear with me as I kind of BS here. It's called Focal Point. It looks pretty good. So my favorite book that they put out so far, and I will sing the praises of it until the day that I stop having people listen to me, basically, is actually their book about how to set up a campaign, a long-running campaign. It's called Odyssey. It talks about how to set up social contracts, laying the foundation for campaigns, getting player involvement, how to set your campaign so that players buy into the campaign and it feels alive. And I think that's a really solid book. When they created that, they decided to create another book that talked about how to improv. That way, when your prep fails, you have improving as well, and that's called Never Unprepared. And then it eventually led to this book, which is called Focal Point. And Focal Point is actually designed around running extraordinary sessions, like the particular session itself, like how to flavor it up, how to get it big. And I'm super excited. I love reading books like this because I'm a very analytical person. I like absorbing information, and then I turn around and share it with you guys. So, you know, Tim mentioned in his top 5 video response that he did that he likes other people's channels because they absorb information, spell it out for him, and give him like the kernels of wisdom, like Matt Click's channel. And I think that's how I like to think of my channel is I absorb a lot of stuff and I give you guys what I think the kernels of wisdom are. But I'm definitely going to get my hands on a copy of that, read through it, and let you guys know what I think. So far, I have everything that Gnome Stew has put out, and I think all of it is really good. If you want to have just a quick, easy game night, what is it? Not Never Unprepared. It's, what is their other books? See, I'm actually under something else, and so now it's not actually showing that one. Of course it's not. Here we go. It's Eureka, 501 Adventure Plots to Inspire Game Masters. That one's super cool because it's broken down in genres, and it gives you like basic plot structures. And what I like to do with that book is if I'm trying to think of a one shot, especially one shots, because I have a hard time with them, I look at that book and I pull the idea and I break it down to its core concepts and I kind of play with it and make it something that is my own. Or sometimes I'll just rip it straight from the book, present it to my players and say, hey, I forgot to plan, so we're going to do this adventure. And it just gives you a quick paragraph to give you the adventure hook, what the adventure is basically about, and it's completely system agnostic, which makes it phenomenal because it works for every system. And like I said, it breaks it down into genres, so super handy. They've also got 1,000 memorable NPCs. That one's called Mask. That one is really good, again broken down by genre, NPC type, and then the book itself also serves as a book of names because every page has NPC names at the bottom of every page. So if you ever get lost, can't think of a name, you can just flip open that book and pull a name from it. I think what I'm going to do is I have all these in PDF. I think I'm going to cherry pick a couple and get them in hardback. Like I think that NPC book is probably going to be one of my hardback purchases pretty soon here. As far as other things, once I get settled into work, I have had this crazy idea of taking Fantasy Age and turning it into a sci-fi game. If you guys have checked out my blog, the last entry was Space Age, and it's received a few hits. It's not one of my more popular ones, but I want to take a moment and talk about one of my popular ones because you guys blow my mind. So I made a post called The Magic of a Name, and it was just basically talking about how with a name, just like a campaign setting, you have to finesse it a little. You can't make it too extreme, that you should have like language patterns in your game to really enrich it. You guys just blew my blog out of the water. I've never had a post go this high. I usually get about 100 per post for views, and then sometimes I have a couple gems in there that get like 500, and it makes me real proud of what I worked on. That post, which I threw together in just a short bit of time, is just a quick, dirty post, over 1,000 views, 1294. That is outrageous to me. You guys are so supportive, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart. I don't do the written blog so much because it's hard for me. I like talking a lot better. I'm a bit more communication, face-to-face type person. So for me, doing these vlogs are a little bit easier than doing the blog posts. And I kind of use the blog post to supplement my thoughts if I don't necessarily want to do a video and I'm just kind of cranking out something. And more or less, that's kind of what it's serviced for me. And, you know, to get that amount of views was just phenomenal. And so I thank everybody who's following over there as well. And, you know, what I was getting at with Space Ages is once I get everything set up, I would like to try doing XSplit again. I think I figured out what the problem was on my end as to why the video was freezing. So I may invite a couple people in, do a test XSplit video on a private list to make sure it works and doesn't freeze. But I have the idea to do a fantasy game, or excuse me, a sci-fi game using Fantasy Age. And right now I'm just calling it Space Age. But I think I have a better idea for the name of the game, and I'm going to call it Provenance for now. Right now, I'm trying to write up an alpha document. I want to go through the process of doing an alpha document, a beta testing document, and then go ahead and get it out there for people to play and enjoy. And I'm in the works of trying to discover how to put a book together and release it. So if anybody has experience with that and wants to share a little bit anecdotal advice for me in a video or a comment, please feel free as always. I've been talking to Tim over at Tabletop Terrors and Chepe from Fontrodden, because they both put out some documents recently to see what their experience was and how they put it together. I'm not that far in the process. Like I said, right now I'm just writing an alpha, but I'm having a lot of fun with it, and I really hope that I can put it together. I love sci-fi games, mainly because I'm like a huge Star Wars fan. I think what I'm going to shoot for is not a hard sci-fi per se, which I usually lean for. I think I may go for something a little bit more akin to a Planet and Sword style sci-fi, which is a little bit more reminiscent of the 80s stuff that came from like sci-fi movies, stuff like Flash, Crawl, Star Wars even is technically planetary romance, but it's space opera, which kind of is related to Sword and Planet. Sword and Planet is kind of a unique genre. It has a lot of the elements of fantasy that have been geared more towards science fiction. So I'm thinking things like power weapons and stuff like that. And I'm totally going to be using some of the rules out of Fantasy Age's Titan's Grave, because I think that their weapon set is a really great place to start. But I think I'm going to add stuff like ship design, how to do ship battles, and I want to make it a little bit more focused on a little bit of survival in space, along with having this overall theme of Sword and Planet. I have an idea in mind, and I'm still working it out. And you can kind of tell because I've got like these blanks in my speech, which is a little unusual for me. But as it comes out, I will let you guys know about the process. When I get to beta testing, I will probably run a few games inside of it, and then I may ask a couple GMs that I trust to run some games on their own without me, and give me some feedback. And then once I feel like it's ready and available for you guys, I'll go ahead and let you guys have at it. I am still waiting for Blades in the Dark, which sounds like it's going to come out a little earlier than expected. So I'm kind of excited about that, because I wanted to do the Super Sentai game using Blades in the Dark. So I have kind of set up some pretty lofty goals for myself. I've always wanted to write my own system, but I've always been cautious about it because I usually don't like a lot of homebrew stuff that makes its way to the internet. I think it's usually too powerful. It doesn't fit with the with the elements of the game, how they are designed already. And I've done a lot of reading on like how to do design and design theory and stuff like that. And so I'm interested to start putting the theory to practice. I can't promise that they're going to be 100% golden to start, but I really want to try to put together something that, you know, is me basically as a gamer. And if you guys are going through that process, let me know. And if I have anything to share with you guys, I will let you know. And, you know, I think it's really cool that we've got some creators in the community that have been starting to put together stuff like this. Gothnok put together a wonderful book that was about magic items for 5th edition, and I'd like to put together something similar to his product, or even Tabletop Terrors or Von Trodden's, where it looks very good, presentable, and it's a professional quality product. So I'm going to take a little bit of time. I'm not just doing a Google document, throwing it out there for everybody, and then being like, meh, there it is. I'm actually going to try and put together something good. All right, guys, that's pretty much what I've got for you today. Like I said, tune into the channel later for the 3 Moons Harvest playthrough. If you are inclined to do so, afterward, I have the campaign prep, which I will be releasing on the channel as well after that session is complete. And from there, I'm not sure when my next live game is going to be, other than L5R, which is of course every week that we can do it. So L5R will be this Sunday, and you know, keep playing your games and keep up the support. I know you guys subscribe other channels and stuff like that, and if I'm this excited about 182 people having subscribed to me, you know, I can just imagine that other channels are just as happy to see you guys subscribe to them. So check out other people's stuff. Let them know what you're thinking, share thoughts, ideas, like different quest ideas, setting ideas, things like that. You know, anything that you guys can, because collectively we're like the RPG brain trust here on YouTube. So it's awesome to see us out in full force, is all I can say about that. As always, guys, please feel free to like, comment, share, subscribe, tell your friends, go to BrigadeCon, support Child's Play, and I will see you guys at the gaming table. Thank you for tuning in.